Hi, Rick.
Hi, how are you?
You're going to tell us a story about an experience that you had with some peacocks.
Yeah, I had 2 peacocks fly up on our porch. Well, there's actually about 3 apartments on that side, and they flew up, and well, the female hung around for a little while, but I asked my pastor friend, what should I name them? And he said, well, name her Mrs. Grace, and then the male, Mr. Glory. And so, okay, so I said, that's a good idea. And so, anyway, there's 2 peacocks living at my place. The female only lasted about 2 days, but the other one, he liked to sleep on my side of the porch. It's got a big iron railing, and I would give him structured water. I was giving this bird structured water, and Clayton Nolde wanted me to come on the show and tell my story, what I'm telling right now. And so anyway, I was giving him structured water, and I was feeding him, and he would sit there all night. But something, I actually was talking to that bird, and he's not a cuddly bird because he, if I don't know how you handle him, you'd have to have like those leather gloves or those ones they have that people that train hawks. They can pick them up with that. But anyway, every night he would stay there, and but I told him, I said, in the morning, you got to get out here. Well, he was making a mess downstairs, so I had to go clean it up every day because it was close to the mailbox. And but anyway, one time I took off for, but every night he would show up, and he'd have his structured water, and he would have his. I'd have a mixed variety of food for him, and so he would leave in the morning, and so I'd like to get up in the morning to watch him fly off the porch, because this is a male, and when this guy takes off in flight, this guy's like a B-52 bomber. I mean, this guy's got a big wing spread, and so anyway, and then so when it got dark, when he'd fly back, you see the landlord didn't want me feeding him because he was thinking that this bird is going to make a big mess. Well, anyway, what I did is I cleaned it up, and yeah.
He was a peacock, right? Gorgeous blue, beautiful peacock.
Cobalt blue, and so anyway, I end up going to Minnesota. For about 3 weeks, and so anyway, I wasn't there to feed him or nothing. And anyway, when I got back 3 weeks later, without seeing him, without feeding him, without anything, I looked up there, and there was Mr. Glory. He was sitting up there waiting for me, and so I unloaded my bags, and I went out and I fed him and tried to talk to him. You see, I was so tired from that long drive that I actually went back and went to sleep. But he, Mr. Glory, come by. He only come by to say goodbye to me, and then he flew off and he never come back again. It's a real sad story, but Clayton. If you talk to Clayton or something, he wanted me to come on the show because he wanted me to tell him how this bird loved its structured water, and that's the same unit that you're selling, and I can attest to it that it's good. It's good for your dogs, your cats, and it's good for you.
Yes, we've all experienced the benefits of structured water, but let me ask you, what year would you say this was that's all of this happened?
I would say that this was about 3 years ago. I would say about 3 years ago.
In 2017?
Yeah, I would say something like that. Yeah. And
I didn't start the call that you and I are talking on, and where we met until May of 2018.
Oh, well, maybe it's 2018 then.
Why?
Well, that maybe no. I think it was 2000. It was probably 2017. But I told you about the story, and then
you told me what happened, and here's the point. I started my call a full year later in May of 2018, and what did I call it?
Grace with Glory.
You know what the call is? Grace with Glory from Chicago. Witness the winds of change. Yeah. Grace with Glory. And here you have two peacocks, and one is named Mr. Glory, and the other is named Mrs. Grace.
Mrs. Grace, yeah. That is.
And it had nothing whatsoever to do with me or the call or anything. It just happened previously.
Right.